do you think? Yes, it smells rather tasty. £211,262.
Personal injury means big business. Last year, insurance companies paid out over £7 billion in compensation.
You'll be hearing the first one we issue proceedings, and then presumably we'll see you in court. Bye.
For 6 months, the BBC was given access to a firm of solicitors who specialise in slips, trips, crashes and bashes.
OK, do you want to just explain what actually happened then? And was it a real hang-up?
Clearly the lad has sustained some injury. But why you'd want to stick what looks like ketchup over the top of his scars, I don't know.
Andrew Twombly is the top dog at Amelans Solicitors, and there's nothing he likes more than going for the jugular.
Punter wants to make sure that they're confident that you'll fight for him and for nobody else. And that was, I think, the first advert we had in the Yellow Pages a few years ago. We thought it'd give the essence of what we're about.
What does that say then to you?
What, that? Just well, that's us. Rabid dog. You don't mess with the Rottweiler, do you? He tends to run away or give up. And hopefully, the insurers see us in that light.
Not as poodles.
No, not as poodle. Not as poodles or chihuahuas. We'll leave that to the other firms who dabble in this industry.
Andrew Twombly is a millionaire lawyer with a home in Cheshire's footballer belt and a car to match.
When I started out, I was going to be a student teacher. I realised that I didn't want to be a teacher because I hated little kids at the time. But I went babysitting for a friend who had a gold-plated jacuzzi. And I thought, well, that's for me, I'll have a go at that.
Personal injury's been good to Andrew, but it can be a risky business for solicitors. The punter doesn't lose a penny if the case is lost. Lawyers only get paid if they win, and then it's big bucks all round. This is no win, no fee.
The fun is managing a group of great people who all think like we do. Perhaps at some time in the past they've not all been honed as we are, but they all live off our enthusiasm and they're enthusiastic about the job and about helping claimants themselves. So I like being here, being amongst this constant enthusiasm. It's a great atmosphere and a great place to be. It rumbles like a volcano about to explode. Sometimes it does.
Andrew's part of a triumvirate running the Manchester-based business with his partners Martin Cox and Denise Wilkinson. Amelans, with a staff of 16 fully qualified solicitors, processes thousands of claims every year.
James, known in the office as the Grazer. Hi, James, because if you open any of his top 3 drawers, you always see food. What he does for lunch is he pretends to eat salad and eats salad on his desk, but his 3 drawers are filled with crisps, Wotsits, and all sorts of other unhealthy foods. Right. He continually grazes all day long on the basis that if you continue to eat, you don't get hungry. We'll just check what's in there today. So it's obviously later on in the day because there's only a packet of Taito Bikers. In his place. He's eaten the rest of it already.
It's all gone.
James the Grazer Huff has been fully qualified for 6 months.
Best thing is when you've probably got a genuine, nice person who's really suffered with an injury, and the insurers will admit liability early on, and you can get them all fixed up and back to normal, hopefully, within the quickest time as possible. Worst part of the job, it's pretty good. It's just getting up and getting here is a problem.
You want to look at, it's got a very
This is our file here. Client's name, Carol Watson. She is some kind of country and western singer. She was on stage singing. She was singing a final song, and all the audience were getting a bit overexcited. A lot of them had guns. Don't know whether they were loaded or not, but they were firing them into the floor and cheering, getting excited. And then suddenly, she had a loud bang, which was cannons or cannons.
Bang, where it went, you know. Ceiling tiles lifted, and there was something that come past her, wasn't there? Like a draft. Shrapnel, sorry.
So at the same time, she felt pain in her arm, and obviously she knew she'd been hit by something out of the cannon.
Next thing I know, Carol was standing like that, wasn't she? With her hand there.
I was the only one left playing.
Two witnesses, injury to upper left arm where the shrapnel has entered.
There. That's where they took it out. That's where it went in. Straight in there, in through the muscle, and then lodged in the middle, and then came out again later on.
So it's not every day we get someone being shot with a cannon.
What's the atmosphere like here? How would you characterise?
The atmosphere is like a coiled viper. Come on, Barry, you can come past now, mate.
To interrupt a moment.
No, it's not a moment. The atmosphere is calm, but dangerous.
And this gang of reprobates here is our induction team, headed by young Philip Banks. Every call that comes to the office goes through Phil or Rick, and is administered by Jenny.
So how important is this lot?
Absolutely vital. No team is more important in this office than these three guys here. They're very, very, very important, and treat them very well. Is that true?
Yeah, very true. Very
Phil's
true.
got
Very
two
well.
cats.
Very well done there.
They're okay, aren't they? What are they called, Rosie and Ruby?
No, I'm not going into that right now. You weren't doing anything unreasonable in moving it. So, if it's blocking the pavement, there's not a lot you can do about it, really, is there? No? OK, leave it with me. Let me make some inquiries and I'll get back to you. OK. Thank you. Bye. 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 That one's an unusual one. She's 58. She's got a mobility scooter. She's going along the pavement. Week before, the men have been out repairing one of the street lamps. They've repaired the street lamp and have gone away and left one of the road signs blocking the pavement.
Yeah. I got off the scooter because the sign was here and I could not get my scooter around it, so of course I had to try and move it. But wind came down as I went to grab it.
While she's moving it, a big gust of wind blows and it lands on her foot.
Hi Gwen, how's your foot?
Still a bit sore, but it's not as swollen.
No, it isn't, no.
No, and there's still some bruising.
Oh, I've got a big chopper inside. I can chop your leg off, you know.
No.
Cut it off by the knee.
No, I'll let doctor do it.
It's Phil's job to decide whether a new case is taken on. He's a claims specialist, not a lawyer. He needs help with this one, so makes a conference call, all the way to the other side of the office.
What's her injury?
It's just bruising and damage to her ankle. Doctor says 2 to 3 weeks. But
You can't leave signs out.
can't leave it. They should have taken it with them.
It's not the easiest thing to remove. Street signs. Getting out of the wheelchair in the first place, moving the signs, sounds pretty difficult anyway. I think it's worth a go, definitely.
All right, I'll get it up.
Sound?
Yeah.
All right, cheers. Bye.
If it had hit my scooter, it would have been... I would have really gone to the cleaners with them, because it is a dear scooter.
early morning at Amelans, and the bosses start the day by reading everyone else's mail. It's a ritual enforced by the Law Society. Loitering in reception isn't.
London.
Walthamstow. Bye-bye.
Where's Walthamstow? Is that
North London. This is Julie, our receptionist. All contact with the firm initially comes to Julie. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So any client who walks in or comes in sees Julie first. So she's the gateway to the inner sanctum. So if she performs well, we perform well. She smells nicely. That's good.
Good afternoon, Amelans.
See how good she is. And there we have it.
That's me.
Over at the induction team, Phil's talking to a woman whose daughter has been rushed to hospital after a car crash. This could be a big money case.
It's Mr. Banks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just make some inquiries. I'm going to sort out who can come and see you, because we need to come out and see you ASAP. We need to get this whole thing moving. Leave it with me. I'll be back in contact with you shortly. Bye, bye. That's quite a big case, that one. She's been she's a passenger in a car that's been involved in an accident on Sunday morning. Third party's pulled out of a side road into the side of them, and she's in intensive care with with a serious head injury on the life support machine.
You've got to move quick on this, haven't you, Phil?
Very quick. If we don't, she'll go with somebody else, because especially if she's in hospital, every time you walk in and out of the hospital, there's always boards up or cards around, something like that, and somebody else will take it. So we need to get somebody out ASAP.
It's an important case. So important, Phil walks to see a solicitor. Andy Turner is one of Amelans' best.
The driver, her boyfriend, he's insured. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're laughing one way or the other.
Yeah, there's no alcohol infusions in this one.
No. Well, we're not going to know the full... Well, I know. But at this state, I don't know any... This is all I know. Head injury, and she's on intensive care, and she's having a brain scan.
So it's big time. What about bones, etc.?
Well, that's...
Don't know yet. It's just rung up.
Our mum's just phoned up.
Right. How old's your daughter?
20. 20 on Monday.
We need to get down there fast, don't we?
No win, no fee, properly known as conditional fee agreements, came into prominence 5 years ago, when legal aid was abolished for routine accident claims.
No win, no fee means if you don't win, you don't have to pay a fee. So it implies that the risk is entirely on the solicitors. But what it doesn't say is what you do if you win. And it kind of implies, if you think about it, that if you do win, then you do pay a fee. Well, our argument should be that the claimant should retain his damages in its entirety.
The change in the law spawned a new phenomenon: accident management companies, like the Accident Group, otherwise known as TAG. In Andrew's eyes, these companies are just middlemen who search for clients and sell them on to solicitors, and this has led to the so-called compensation culture. In response, Amelans and 25 other law firms joined forces to create Injury Lawyers for You.
Andrew, what was the idea behind IL for You?
Well, Martin and I saw the PI industry falling into disrepute and collapse in about 2002, so we decided to fight off the accident management companies such as TAG and Claim Direct. What we'd do is we'd get solicitors together in a big group and we'd go direct to the clients, cut out the middleman.
2 years on, though, Andrew feels that IL for You is being misunderstood. The latest slight comes from a prime-time current affairs programme.
Why do you think there's been such a sudden rise in compensation claims? I think it's this aggressive advertising by the claims management companies.
The programme used an IL for You advert in a story about dodgy claims management companies. It was seen by an audience of millions.
100 100% of the compensation. As viewers, we're used to being bombarded with commercials for no-win, no-fee services.
All you have to do is talk to the accident group.
Linking us with the accident group, saying we are the accident group, isn't it? That's what it's saying.
They show our advert for the long list, and then the next thing it's accident group.
There's no way that Joe Public would know the difference between those few adverts on every day and all that terrible stuff that went on. Needs doing. Leave it to me.
Solicitor Andy Turner has spent the morning trying to call the mother of the car crash victim.
Do you know she's available on a mobile?
A case like this could be worth a substantial amount of money to Amelans. It's essential that he talks to her today if he's to visit before the weekend.
People tend to want the quickest help they can possibly get. Now, it's not her fault. We're based in Manchester and she's in London. As far as she's concerned, she wants help, she wants it now, so we need to get down as quick as possible. We leave it, we'll lose it.
The TV programme was a PR disaster, and Martin's on the warpath. He wants to sue but needs advice, so turns to a firm of media lawyers in London.
So imagine my horror when I saw something on last Friday. It's been seen by literally millions and millions of people. It's very identifiable as our ad.
Martin has specialised in personal injury for 20 years, but hasn't looked at libel or defamation law since he was at college.
All right, Cameron. Cheers now. Bye. There we are. He seemed to think that plonking us right in the middle of a programme which was so biased against this type of thing, you know, and especially he thought what was very relevant is that nobody approached us to give our side of it, if you like.
Once a claim is taken on, Amelans need to get witness statements.
Old times they are not forgotten. Look away, look away.
Tonight, James is in Newcastle pursuing his investigations into the showdown at the Hoedown.
Really needed to come down and find a bit more out what happened, where, when, what happened afterwards.
Normally they just fire the guns, and I mean we've done hundreds of them. This night it was like a cannon which was on the floor.
How big, roughly?
About that big. But it was pointing towards the stage. When the guns fired at the end, there was an almighty bang. And then I just felt like a pain in my arm.
What was in there?
It was, well, like, I've got it, I'll show you.
Have you?
That's it there. It was like a little ball bearing. I mean, take it out if you want. Have a look, but don't drop it.
Probably lose it, it's valuable there.
Oh, it's away.
Some kind of metal, I don't know, I'm no cannon expert.
It was like a little ball bearing.
I think we can go against the club, definitely. Best case scenario, they've got insurance to deal with any accidents that happen on the premises.
Right.
But it seems like a fairly decent claim, fairly unusual.
Well,
I was going to say. fairly unusual in the circumstances. It's not a...
I was the talk of the hospital, I can
Well,
tell
yeah.
you. I might get myself a paperweight made with it or something.
Frame it on the mantel, please.
These member states arrest and bound. Carl Stevens under duty for us. He's broken in his heart inside of the ship.
Coming down here and seeing this, it's kind of totally different to sitting in the office all day. And different personalities. Country and western singers don't come along often. I can't dance. I've got a hernia. Over 95 policy on the dance floor anyway. Client, nice. Case, good. All happy, glad I came. Don't like the music though.
Next morning, Phil has some good news about the London car crash case.
Originally, Andrew Turner was going to go out. He wanted to go out today, but he's going to fly down and see her. But we couldn't get hold of her all day yesterday. I managed to get hold of her this morning. I tried her last night, quite late. It turns out that she didn't get back home till 11 o'clock last night, so Viv Davis is going to go and see her.
Amelans have claims investigators all over the country. Ex-copper Viv Davis is their man in London.
Normally what would happen is that the injured party themselves would contact us and I would go and see them, but of course in this case the injured party is not in a condition to speak at the moment, so her mother's asked us to intervene on her behalf, so I'm going to go and see the mother, one to get her signed up so that we can act for her.
In Manchester, James is also dealing with a complicated case. Andrew is angry about the bad press surrounding Injury Lawyers for You. To help fight the good fight, he's hired some PR guns of his own.
The claims management company, as you know, aren't solicitors there. Formerly driveway salesman, Tenerife timeshare salesman. No, they are timeshare salesmen or work in financial service industry.
Frequently are.
They will get a case. They will dress it up in ribbon. And they will then sell it to a desperate solicitor. That doesn't take place with IL4U. There's no selling and there's no add-ons, backhanders or brown paper envelopes. It's a big difference, that. And that never comes out in the press.
But I think that's part of our job, to communicate those messages. We will weave in to the various communications that we're putting out there all of these sorts of messages to make that very clear distinction, because people don't appreciate the difference.
James has also called in reinforcements.
Why is it scrunched up like that? You've done something to it.
Well, I'll just put it in.
Yeah, but...
Look what you've done to it.
Yeah, please. I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, let me have a go. Right in there, you go at the top end.
You know you've got to impress me in 3 months. You know that, don't you? Okay. Seriously. I, for my part, have seen PR in action. I've seen media in action. It's a totally different ethos than the way we, because we get in, 7:30, bang, we're at it. 5 o'clock, we're tired, go home. Media tends to get in, roll in about 11, read the paper, have a fag, have a coffee, organise lunch, text the mate, then do a bit, and then produce nothing. Now that's the idea that a lot of the panel members have got. I put my neck out now. I put my neck out now. So I'm going to spend all your money on these guys, so you've got to produce or else I'm dead. But I'm confident you can do it, and you've got 3 months.
Tall order. Start your morning, give it a whirl, feel I could just buy a new one, what do you think?
One off the back.
Hi, Phil, it's Viv.
Hi, Viv, how are you doing?
In London, Viv Davies has managed to speak to the car crash victim's mother.
A bit concerned about some insurance aspects. But she's convinced we're the right people for us. She's quite happy to sign up.
OK, that's excellent, mate. Appreciate that, mate. Bye. Bye, Viv. Bye. Bye. Andrew, you got 2 minutes? Been out to see that lady, daughter who was involved in that car accident. Yeah. Viv's just been out. Mother signed the conditional fee agreement. Going to go out again when the daughter's better to get the second one signed.
Good.
Right.
Good.
Done.
Nearly fixed it.
Scissors into a stretcher that's turned on isn't the best thing.
Thank you, Mom. It works now. We just have to split everything up in half. Cracked it. Cracked it.
James's day takes a sudden upturn. His shredder shreds, and he's got good news for his country singing clients.
Hello?
Is that Carol?
Yeah.
Carol, James at Amelans.
Oh, hello.
Hi, you know you've been waiting for your damages check to come through for a while?
Yeah.
Well, it's just arrived today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So, all good for us.
Oh, I got me check.
Sure.
Right.
Hey, what?
That's not too bad, is it? Yeah, that's all right, that. Long time coming, but at least I've got it now.
My heart keeps going back to Nashville. That's the only home for me.
Hiya. Yes, I'm looking for some flights to go to Nashville.
All right.
Time.
Right.
Glad I went through with it, because if I hadn't gone through with it, I would have probably regretted it. But there again, in the end, I have lost quite a lot of friends through it within the country and western scene, which I didn't want to do. But if they're going to be so childish about it, when it was me that got shot, not them, then they're not really friends, are they? So I can probably do without them and find some new ones in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee. Take it, Floyd.
It's Viv Davies. Can I speak to Phil?
The car crash victim in London is recovering from her head injuries. Amelans are currently pursuing her claim. The firm has decided not to proceed with legal action against the TV company. Gwen's claim is ongoing. She said she will spend any money she receives on a new tumble dryer and a trip to Skegness. Next week on No Win, No Fee, the struggle against negative PR continues.
They're trying to set up a meeting between myself and Mark Reynolds, the author of this piece, so we can have a head-to-head. Is he man enough to face the oracle on the subject?
James deals with another unusual client.
But more to the point, I don't even bloody drink.
And Andrew welcomes a new recruit.
Excuse me. The clock must have stopped.